Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Sylvia Yu. I'm excited to introduce my guest today, Albert Oktovianus. He is a change management and human resources expert and consultant based in Jakarta, Indonesia. He is the Human Capital Advisory Lead for APAC at Alight Solutions. His passion is to help people reach their full potential and support organizations in managing change and other aspects of their company and managing people, right, Albert?
Yeah,
And you'll go into that.
yeah,
In Albert's spare time, he offers lectures and does speaking gigs, and he enjoys Aikido. It's a form of self-defense.
yes.
Albert, I'm thrilled to have you here. And do you want to share a little bit about how we connected?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Sylvia. You, like I said before, I'm still starstruck meeting you on live.
Like,
And yeah, I think for our audience there, I think we met in the LinkedIn first
yes.
time, right? With
Yeah.
your post, and then I got inspired by your post, and then when I noticed that you also are a writer and author, and I tried to search for your books, and then
Thank
I
you.
think the rest is history, and yeah, like you said,
And then
I'm
we
very
became friends.
inspired. Then we became
Oh,
friends.
thank you. And I'm inspired by your genuine posts and how you sincerely and authentically want to help people. And
Thank you
that's
so much.
why I think we became friends on LinkedIn. And thank you
Yeah,
for writing a review of my book, A Long Road to Justice. I was
yes,
very moved by your words and that you were, you were touched by the plight
yeah,
of trafficked women and
for
girls.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. So I'm thrilled to have you talk about your work,
Yeah,
and I know you'll inspire people out there. So can you describe the work that you do? You mentioned people-centric strategies in our LinkedIn messages, and
yeah.
there's, change management. What does that all mean? And what do you do in the day-to-day?
Okay. So currently in my role as a human capital advisory leads, even though I'm based in Indonesia, but I work with my teams also in my office around in Southeast Asia, right, and Asia. So what I do currently as the human capital advisory is like I help and partner with clients and companies
Mm,
how to design their human capital strategy and then how they will manage the change if there are any kind of initiative or improvement or transformation that they want to go. And then, but all of this, why I mentioned also the people-centric strategy, is all centralized and focused on people side because either way, anything that you design in your organizations should be the focus, should be the people. So
mm,
that's why I mentioned about the people-centered strategy and then leveraging that and then using the framework of change management and the human capitals, you know, to create the whole uh, ecosystem of that, or the people-centric one.
And how
That's
did
why I
you
did.
get there? How did you get to do this kind of work?
Yeah, so the short versions, I get into this kind of work actually from more into the technical or engineering side because I came from the background is actually industrial engineer. And my first patient, where I thought my first patient is actually as a marketing one. But then somehow along the way, I found out that actually because again the people centric I get intrigued by how human interactions and then how companies should have more focus on their employees. Then I have include the change management in my career around in 2004 2005. After that I think that also HR area is actually the ones that I want to pursue. So yeah, I think that's the short version of how I get into this work.
Yeah, oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So what is an example of the kind of change that you manage?
Hmm. Okay, so there are several things. Usually, if in the project that, for example, that an organizations want to implement big change in their systems, like maybe the current one is like in their human resource management systems. and then they will need the change management to help them to smoothen the change, because change management is they are only not only they are two how you say pillars of change management or two goals. The first one is actually minimizing resistance, and the second one is increasing adoptions. So that's where that if the big change in the system change, and then the employees are starting to talk about it, that's where change management have a play there. So that's I think how it works in the systems. But the second part is like organizations want to have any kind of initiative and transformations, changing, for example, like changing their business process, then they will need a change management also. So any kind of change initiative, regardless it's big or small, regardless of the scope, it will be need to be managed.
What about work from home? Is that something that you were dealing with a lot in the last year or
Oh,
so? And what were the big issues that you were addressing?
that's a very, very topic close to my heart,
Oh,
Sylvia. Okay, so well, maybe the audience or you we have heard that Indonesia is like coming back into the trend of the working from office again, right? They increasing because of the pandemic. It's a little bit slowing down now, or it's even gone. Uh, why I say it's close to my heart, because in my previous company, I'm one of the lead for the project, what they call the RTO, return to office.
mm,
So work from home at some points is actually mandated by the office or the even the governments, right? But then when the pandemic started slowing down, then we became hybrid, and then now we become coming to work from office. From my experience and my perspective, one of the things that uh, the change or the mix and the hybrid part, I think is still the best one for now. Because when we learn that when working from home, the productivity levels,
mm,
some of the nature of the work is actually increasing, but some of them is actually lowering. So they are the plus and minus, right? Because I always say that yes, we are facing the same storm at the time it's pandemic, but we're not in the same boat.
mm,
Some people are preferring going to the office because they have more interactions, and then they have more privacy in their workstations to work,
mm,
right, without the noise, everything else in their home.
mm.
But some people working from home prefer because they don't have to travel or they have commute long ways. So again, why I'm saying that I tend to on the hybrid part, that's because each and every role have their own characteristic and their own needs. Each industry have their own qualification also for the work from home or from work from office. That's for myself.
So what are you seeing in terms of trends in Indonesia first, and
Mm,
then share about what you're seeing as a
mm,
change management consultant, as a
mm.
human resources expert and consultant? What are you seeing the major trends, like what's happening in Indonesia and what's happening in Southeast Asia in companies?
Okay. So regardless of from the human capital side of human resource side, right? Well, this is something that I also been confirmed when I go into the CSRO series just like a couple of days ago. The trend will become into the skill side of the humans, right? I mean, again, because of the pandemic hits, we're talking about how people and how employees needs to be upskill or reskill. As simple as how you use like Zoom or M Teams or every kind of platform for the online meetings. As simple as that. And then you need to up skills or edit some skills to use that. Right. That's the simplest examples. But in the big picture, in the next part, then the skills development and the human development itself, regardless of the gap of the skills, will be the next trend that the leaders of the company organizations will have to have more I would say focus on concerns about this, right? And then so that's what I'm saying. I think the next part will be the related to the skills. It is technical skills, soft skills, that reach into your capabilities. for the next.
Oh, fascinating.
Mm,
What would you advise are the
mm.
top one or two technical and soft skills that people really need to focus on in the next while?
Ah, yes. Okay, one or two is quite difficult.
Is AI, is AI
Yeah.
part of it? AI, like how
Okay.
it's changing the way
So
we work?
I'm going to bring it for technical side, right? I'm going to bring it a little bit broader when I say me technical skills that deals with digitals and then deals with transformations. I know it's a broad kind of skill set, right? But digital is included there into like the AI, how you like the data storytellings, how you manage your data, big data, everything. That's the digital part. But digital is not only into the technical or the sorry, not only into the systems or the you know the robotic kind of sides or the machines. It's
Mhm.
also go into your mindset, how you become digital, have digital mindset, right? So that's part of the technical and then the soft skills. But when I mentioned about transformations, it's more you will need more how you say soft skills, like
Mm,
how you like I mentioned, how you manage your relationship with others. You
mm,
know, when you're facing these challenges together, but you don't have the same capabilities, how you manage it, how the interactions, right? And the
mm,
second is your resilience, like what I used to call change resilience, like how many times you got impacted by changes, but
mm.
how can you get back again and do the business as usual, as a person, as a people, as an individual. So yeah, so I have to mention that your digital skills and then your transformations capabilities are those two broad enough to capture the things that employees and workers workforce in the future that we need.
Trans resilience, is that how you described it?
Yeah, resilience. That's one
Trans,
of the
I
part.
think you said trans resilience.
Okay.
Did you say
So
that? Because that's a
no,
new word. That's a new word. Or we just made up a new word, Albert. Let's
I
coin
hope
it,
we can
right?
copyright it.
Did we? Or is it a term that's already out there? Because I love it. Trans
No,
resilience. We've coined it right
we
here.
coin it. I hope that we can use it in hashtags.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, no, transformational resilience.
Yeah.
Inner and outer, right? And in the company. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
let's
nice.
we'll write a post and we'll post on the same day. How about that, Albert?
Oh my God, that's why you're the author. I mean, like,
You're so kind.
I mean,
So let's shift gears. And I want to talk about what's the secret to your success? I mean, not only are you such a really nice guy and everyone
oh,
loves
thank you.
you, Albert. What's the secret to your success? Like how do you get good at your job? How does one get good at change management,
Mm.
consulting and human
Okay.
resources specialization?
Okay. So on that note, I'm not sure that I can be called successful yet. No.
So humble.
Yeah.
You're so humble. You're
Yeah.
in charge of APAC.
Well,
Humble, Albert.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
Anyway,
to
but
that.
what do you recommend that people
Mm,
really need to hone or focus on to
okay.
be successful in anything they do then? Like not just your role, if you don't feel comfortable commenting about that, but yeah, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
What's
Okay, so maybe
success?
from the professional side, right? Like I mentioned, even looking at the things happenings in the whole world now in the global scale, that again, I'm going to mention resilience. It's one of the things that you need. Like you fall 7 times, get back 8 times, all the cliche kind of things. You will going to need that, right? In the professional and even in the personal side. But on the professional side also, like people are also asking, what do I need to become a consultant or even a change management consultant? Then I will say, first is your observational skills. I
Hmm,
mean, you need to observe, and then second is your listening skills. So I think you can see a lot also in LinkedIn that you listen not to just not to answers, but you
Mhm.
listen really to listen, like the deep listening skills. Yeah.
Yes. Listen in between the lines.
Read and utilize. That's right.
Yeah.
Because again, that's why I'm fascinated with people because they have so
Yeah.
many aspects and facets. And the third one, yeah,
Mm,
and the third one, I think this is also you need how to again how to connecting the dots. I
mm,
mean, not only connecting, but also gain value from connecting the dots.
mm.
So these are the things that help me along the way in my journey to become what I am now. These three kind of things.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Who inspired you, Albert? Do you have a person? It could
Mm.
be a famous person that you've read their
Mm.
book on change management, or is there someone close to you, a mentor? Who was your inspiration?
Well, actually, there are two parts, right? The first one for sure, my parents, because I saw them when they were uh, as employees working in the corporates, and then I also saw them as entrepreneurs, right? And then that's why I try to how I say integrate all of these aspects into my professional journey and personal journey. And the second part also, so I have this lecturer when I was in my undergraduate studies, and then he was let's say the quality management consultant at the time
Mm,
and my lecturer, and then he shares a lot how to become a consultant. So that's I think he's also the ones that becoming my inspiration to become a consultant besides my parents. Can
mm.
I say his name? Yeah.
Sure, go for it. Why not?
He's we call it Arianto Prabowo, and now he's the dean in my university.
Oh, wonderful. You'll have to send him this interview. And
Ah,
yeah,
hopefully I can
thank
still
you.
meet him.
You gave him a wonderful shout out. Albert, are you open to sharing a failure and how you learned and grew from that and overcame?
Yeah, so actually, I'm not sure it's well, maybe for me it's kind of failure because at one point in my career, when I want to go into a consulting world or consulting industry, I have not several, quite the people that surrounds me that are actually quite close and then are saying that no, you cannot do that because you didn't graduate from the top university at the time, right? Because it's around in early 2000s. You didn't graduate from the top university, and then you don't have like this the top marks in the graduations, and then you're not in even in the management area or something like that. So at the time I felt quite a little not a little bit actually, but it's a lot it's down, get
Mhm.
demotivated. And I was saying, yeah, okay, I don't think I can reach that. But then at one point I realized and I read this book by I forget the name, but the name of the book is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
I love that title.
Yeah, I think you remember the title, right?
Yeah.
So that book is actually like inspiring, like why I'm sweating the small stuff. I mean, this is something that actually bugging my overthinking everything else, right? And then
Mm,
the book is saying that is it going to matter in the next one day, in the next 1 week, in the next 1 year, or in the next 5 years? So I was looking like what matters to me, right? And how I can achieve that. So at the
mm,
time I decided, after I think my second company that I have whatever it takes, I will get into the consulting industry.
mm.
Yeah, so
And you
hopefully
did.
there's something I did. I did after like almost 7 years in the in working in the workforce.
Yeah, yeah. 7 years or 17? 17, right?
No, I think it's so before going to the consulting industry,
Oh,
I work in the corporate sides around like 7 years, and
oh,
then I get into the consulting, and then it's
yes.
around like yeah, it's around like 11 years now in consulting area.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Albert. Is
Yeah.
there anything that you know now that you wished you had known earlier in your career?
Oh, yeah. So if I have a message to my younger self, something like
Yeah.
that, right? I
Yes.
will tell that young Albert that, hey, uh, stop listening to other people that's only bringing you down. I mean, start believing in yourself that you can
Oh,
achieve this.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
And how did you believe in yourself?
I-
How did you achieve that?
Mm. Well, the first one idea is to manage my expectations, right? So that's the hardest part. I have to balance between trying to get the best of myself in almost every aspect, but I also have to balance that I have to know when to stop.
Mm,
And that's still the hardest part actually, because sometimes I try to push myself,
yes.
but I don't know how to stop, right? And then you get burnout.
Mm,
So yeah, this is the things that actually makes me better, to balance these things out.
I totally understand. I was taking a break
Yeah,
the other day for the entire day, and yet here
yeah,
and there throughout the day, I'm still doing work, and it's like compulsion, right? And I just say
yeah.
it's like this drive, driving myself, even though
That's it.
I took
That's it.
a break, right? So you're right. Like we need accountability. We need other people to tell us, hey, like to remind us. And
I think someone needs to take your phone, Sylvia. I mean, like to take your phone,
yes,
to take your laptop, everything,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Take it away. Take the laptop away. Yeah, absolutely. Also, one question, since
Mm,
you're a change management expert and
mm.
human resources, what's the secret to a happy office?
Oh,
We
wow.
all know why toxic offices happen because there are bad
Yeah.
apples, but what's the secret to a happy one?
Okay. So you're talking, okay. The surefire word is for the consultant, you say culture, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have to delve a little deeper there because this already being overused. I will have ecosystem because it
Okay, love
will
that.
the ecosystem of your leaders, of your direct superiors, your peers, and the situation, the whole thing, even the way you see it, where you see it,
Mhm.
those are the things, the ecosystems. So the culture itself, yes, for sure,
Mm,
right? But the ecosystems. So it's not only something that's how you say the failures,
mm,
the intangible one, but tangible.
mm.
Something that you can touch. I mean, your boss, you can touch your boss. I mean, in the good way, right? You can touch your peers. It is kind of the ecosystem, the tangible
Yeah,
ones, right? So I
yeah.
think
Uh-huh.
those are the things that help with the hot heavy office.
No, that's helpful. What
Yeah.
are you working on now? And if you have any other messages you want to share with the audience, you can also
Uh,
tack that on as well. But what are you working on now in the workplace?
ah,
And are you still
okay.
doing Aikido?
Yeah, yeah. So in the workplace, currently still involved in the project, of course, as a change management lead, for one of the biggest shipping company in Indonesia. And but outside the work, I'm trying to how you say to create not to create to do this something like a one-on-one mentoring with the scholarship kids, the students.
Wonderful.
If they're willing, and then I give them like, okay, I can schedule your time with me, and then we meet somewhere or even online, and then they can discuss about their career or how they're going to face the workplace or the coming into the workforce. And then also, yeah, like you said, I'm still building my how you say my networks in as a co-founder for my dojo,
Mm,
and to help train people to be more you say aware
yes.
and how they can help defend themselves in certain situations. Yeah.
Excellent. If I were in Jakarta, I would be taking that course. And the next time I travel there, I will drop into your dojo, Albert. And
Yes, please.
yes, and congratulations. You have a top voice badge. Is it on change
Yes.
management
Yes, it's
for
on chess
LinkedIn?
management.
For
Yes,
LinkedIn.
for LinkedIn. Thank you.
Congratulations. You
Thank
deserve
you.
it. And I want to encourage the audience, feel free to connect with Albert on LinkedIn, add him as your friend. He is truly a super nice guy, as authentic as they come. Albert, it's such a pleasure to be connected with you on this platform, and stay in touch, and
Of
yeah,
course.
and all the best on your many
Thank you so
projects
much, Sylvia.
and on your big dreams. You know, I know you'll achieve them because you have that trans resilience.
Ah,
The word we call the word we coined
thank you
today.
so much.
Well, I'll
Resilience.
Google. I'll Google and see if anyone else.
If not, you better copyright it.
Yes, we better. No, but it was such a pleasure to talk with you today. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
me
coming on the
too.
show.
Thank you for this chance.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hold on, I have to